Welcome back to Penn State Sports Night, everyone. Great segment we have coming here with the Super Bowl. We're going to preview it, a preview of the Har Bowl, as I like to call it. That's what they're calling it. That's the worst nickname I think I've ever heard in my life. It's terrible. It's just horrible. But looking at this game, guys, a matchup between the San Francisco 49ers and the Baltimore Ravens. What are the major storylines? I mean, I'll go through a few. Battle of the Harbaughs, Ray Lewis, Ray Lewis, and maybe if he won't stop crying or if he killed somebody. I mean, those are all storylines we could talk about. Colin Kaepernick and his story, his amazing story. The pressure on Joe Flacco, he's a guy that hasn't necessarily made it to the big stage, and now he's there. Frank Gore has a really tremendous story with his mom, and his mom passed away. Now he's playing for her. These are all just examples. Which one of these really takes the cake for you guys?
Well, I'd like to start with the quarterbacks. Colin Kaepernick comes in and just lights it up. I mean, he can run all over the place. He gives them that vertical threat. He's unbelievable. He's playing out of his mind. You got to feel bad for Alex Smith right now, who was leading this team, to what could have been this Super Bowl anyway, and now he's going to watch it from the sidelines and have to, see Colin Kaepernick win his Super Bowl, essentially.
And you know what is interesting about that is that Alex Smith is a guy that it wasn't like he was playing poorly. He was playing pretty well. He was solid. He managed the game. I think out of any quarterbacks, he was one of the best game managers in the NFL. But I think Kaepernick was a guy that just, held an athletic superiority over him. And I totally agree with you. That's a good point. Tim, what do you think?
Yeah, definitely the Colin Kaepernick story has been great for him, and it's just crazy that he's not even had double-digit starts yet, and he's already in the Super Bowl. So a lot of nerves for the young man there, and obviously the brothers have been. It's just there's so many headlines on this that we haven't seen in recent years. There's just with the Ray Lewis, he's a little drama queen, but you have the Battle of the Harbaughs, which is brothers going mano a mano. It's like you dream about it with your brother if you have one. So it's a great story, and I can't wait to see it unfold. And it's going to be a great game, definitely, between two very powerhouse teams.
I think one of the things I'm most excited about this Super Bowl is that they're two good teams. It's even in the playoffs before, we could have had the Patriots and the Falcons right now. And the fact that it is two brothers, I know some people are complaining that ESPN is blowing this up. We really shouldn't be focusing on that. We should be focusing on the players.
Still important.
But let's think about how weird that is.
It's never happened. You're right.
It's not going to happen again probably either.
Definitely. And one thing I like about this matchup, and this is hard for me to say because me being a Pittsburgh fan, this is the worst case situation for a Pittsburgh fan. First of all, the situation with the Ravens is obvious. Pittsburgh, Baltimore, that rivalry is just intense. But if San Francisco wins one more championship, if they win the Super Bowl, they're tied with Pittsburgh with 6 all-time Super Bowls in franchise history, which for a lot of Pittsburgh fans, I don't know if that's necessarily myself, but a lot of Pittsburgh fans, that's a point of pride. So that's hard. But what I like about that, with that being said, what I like about the matchup, it's refreshing. There are no Mannings. I like the Mannings, but it's not a matchup of the Mannings. The Patriots are not in it. The Steelers are not in it. These are two teams that don't always make it to the Super Bowl, and now we have this matchup, and they're both very talented, like you said, Julie. So I think it's going to be a great matchup. But going off of that, Ryan, who do you think has the upper hand?
Well, I do think it's going to be the 49ers. I just think in the quarterback and the offense alone, Joe Flacco, I don't see him having enough to beat this defense. Both defenses are excellent, obviously, but Kaepernick has just shown that firepower to beat some of the best defenses in the entire league. So I just think on offense alone, 49ers have the advantage.
I'm going to have to disagree with you there and go with the Baltimore Ravens. As much as this Ray Lewis thing has gone a little out of proportion, I think they're destined to win on his last game. The leadership and the veteran know-how of Ray Lewis, and now he's bringing Ray Rice along, and they have a lot of young guys ready to make a statement here in the Super Bowl. Joe Flacco, a lot of pressure on him, obviously. They're finally in the Super Bowl. Now he has his time to shine. And as we know, Colin Kaepernick, he has his poise. He's been poised throughout the season. But I think it might catch up to him a little bit here in the big stage in New Orleans.
I'm going to agree with you and go with the Ravens as well. I think this team is probably not going to win every Super Bowl they played. the Ravens might not win it. The 49ers are a more reliable team to win. But at the same time, I think if Joe Flacco plays like he did against the Patriots, I think if they keep the ball in the air and not on the ground, I think they have this one.
It's going to be interesting. So we have 49ers, Ravens. I'm going to go with the 49ers. I just think they have too much on offense and defense. That defense is young. The offense is young with the exception of Randy Moss. This team's going to be around for a while. This San Francisco team is going to be around for a while compared to Baltimore, who's aging. So it's an interesting matchup, and we will see what happens there. That's going to do it for us here at Penn State Sports Night. For Jolie Waring, Tim Behan, and Ryan Noon, I am John Blauvelt. We will be back next time around for another great edition of Penn State Sports Night. Have a great week, Penn State. Take care.